My name is Arif, and this is the story of how a broken robot changed my life forever. I was born in a small village where people struggled every single day just to survive. Most families worked from sunrise to sunset, and nobody really cared about dreams. Especially not impossible dreams. But mine was different. Ever since I was a child, I loved machines. Old radios, broken fans, dead batteries, damaged phones. While other kids played outside, I spent hours opening broken electronics and trying to understand how they worked. People thought I was strange. Some laughed at me, some called me crazy, but I didn't care, because every time I looked at a machine, I imagined the future. I imagined building robots that could help people, machines that could save lives, technology that could make the world better. But dreams are difficult when you are poor. My father worked day and night, yet we still barely had enough food. Buying robotics kits or computers was impossible for us. So instead, I searched through trash. Every afternoon after school, I walked through junkyards collecting broken wires, damaged circuit boards, old motors, and anything that still looked useful. The villagers started calling me the trash boy. Whenever I passed by, people laughed. Look at him. He thinks he'll become a scientist. Even some of my friends stopped talking to me. But deep inside, I still believed. One rainy evening, while searching through an old junkyard near the edge of the village, I found something unusual. Under piles of rusted metal and broken machines was a large object covered in mud. I pulled it out slowly. And then I saw it. A robot. Its body was badly damaged. One arm was missing. Its screen was cracked. And its eyes were completely dark. It looked dead. But when I touched it, something happened. A tiny spark flickered inside its chest. At that moment, I knew. This robot was not completely gone. I carried the heavy machine all the way home through the rain. My clothes were soaked, my hands were shaking, but I couldn't stop smiling. For the first time in my life, it felt like destiny had chosen me. Every night after that, I secretly worked on the robot inside my tiny room. I repaired broken wires using old scraps. I cleaned rust from its metal body. I searched for batteries in abandoned electronics. Some nights I failed completely. Some nights I wanted to quit. But every time I looked at the robot, I felt hope again. Weeks passed. Then one night, something incredible happened. The robot's eyes suddenly lit up. Blue light filled the room. I froze. The robot slowly looked around before turning toward me. Then in a quiet mechanical voice, it said, "Hello, friend." I couldn't believe it. My hands were shaking. My heart was racing. The robot was alive. From that moment, everything changed. The robot became my best friend. I named him Nova. Every day after school, we worked together. Nova helped me understand technology. He showed me how circuits worked, how sensors functioned, how machines could think and react. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel alone anymore. Even though the world laughed at me outside, inside my room, I felt unstoppable. But happiness never lasts forever. One night, the sky suddenly turned dark. Strong winds hit the village. Rain poured harder than ever before. Thunder shook the ground. People ran into their homes in fear. Then suddenly, someone screamed. A child was missing. A little boy had disappeared near the river during the storm. The river was flooding fast. The current was becoming deadly. Everyone panicked. But nobody wanted to search outside in that dangerous weather. The storm was too strong. Then I looked at Nova. And Nova looked at me. We didn't need words. We ran straight into the storm. Rain crashed against us as we searched through the darkness. Trees bent in the wind. Water rushed through the streets. The villagers watched in shock as the boy they once mocked disappeared into the storm beside a robot made from trash. Nova used his scanners to search the area. Suddenly, his eyes flashed red. Target found. Near the riverbank, we discovered the missing child trapped under broken wood and debris. The water was rising quickly. I tried to pull the child free, but the debris was too heavy. The river became more violent every second. Then Nova stepped forward. He used all his strength to hold the collapsing debris back while I pulled the child out. We almost made it, but then, part of the riverbank collapsed. Nova pushed me and the child to safety, and he fell into the flooding water while holding the debris away from us. Nova! I screamed his name as sparks exploded through the rain. He slowly climbed back onto the broken ground, badly damaged. His lights flickered weakly. I ran toward him, crying. Nova looked at me one final time. His voice was barely working. Friend, keep building. Then his eyes faded into darkness. The storm slowly ended, and for the first time in my life, the village became silent. The next morning, everyone gathered around us. Nobody laughed anymore. Nobody mocked me anymore. The trash boy they ignored had saved a life. And the broken robot they thought was useless had become a hero. I held Nova close while tears rolled down my face. Even though he was gone, he had changed me forever. That day, I made a promise. I would continue building, continue learning, continue dreaming, not to prove people wrong, but to help others. Years later, people would remember the storm, but I would always remember something else. A broken robot, who taught a poor boy to never give up on his dreams. Because sometimes, the things the world calls useless, become the things that save it.